Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance and a little bit of the dollar index. So for Bitcoin, it's looking pretty good. We're into this area now, this new box, this resistance box. And to be honest with you, I don't want to get too overexcited because, to be honest, it's the same deal that it's been for a little while now. With the money flow index being the highest it's been since the parabolic top of 2018, well, 17 into 18. We do have to think that there's only so far it can go before it has to come back down again, just in the short term. But as far as the relationship it's got to moving averages and the strength of trend, it's pretty good. So never did we touch a moving average until we touched the 7 simple. That's a very bullish retest. Nice reaction. Pullback, no big deal. 10 exponential, still a very bullish place to be tagged. Moved all the way up, and again we've tagged the 7 simple, so it's still very bullish in the very immediate short term. So I would expect, with a relatively high degree of certainty, that we will push above this box, and we will probably push towards the top of this Bollinger Band, and then at that point the money flow index is probably going to say that's enough for me, that is enough, I've got to come back down again, and we'll have a correction. And when I say correction, I just mean, that'll be a temporary top for a short period of time before the market picks itself back up again and carries on as we expected. At the end of the day, we are above the main area of accumulation. So I've tidied up the chart a little bit. So this is your top area, this is your bottom area, this is your middle area. All of this has gone behind. It's all done now. This is your consolidation trend line of resistance. Again, we're above all of that. So the expectation is that this will continue up for the year. But as far as the immediate term timeframes, yeah, we're bullish. We are bullish, and I expect there's a lot of people going crazy, longing, buying. Whoa, we're going to the moon. I bet there's people on Twitter and TikTok and everybody's saying $1 million next week. And everybody's, just does not want to miss out on that. At the end of the day, it is a good-looking chart, but I think the inevitable pullback is going to happen, whether it's here or if we can just push up a little higher. The inevitable pullback is required for this, right? But I'm still very bullish on this on the long term and the market in general. But in the very short term, based on the daily, however heated it is, I would expect a pullback. I mean, it's just required. Okay, it just has to happen. Now, some nice looking signals here on the weekly that I suppose I kind of overlooked. We have a conversion baseline signal on the weekly for Bitcoin above the cloud, Chiku span above price action as well now. This would mean continuation on the long term on the weekly chart. So this is a bullish signal saying get into your position, which would have been around 47. So again, it's still quite high position. That candle body will have closed here and opened here. So yeah, it would have been 47. And that would have been a hodl position, for a weekly chart. So, however long that's going to take. So that looks good in itself. So that's a very good signal on the weekly. And again, weekly MACD's diverging. Everything's turning up. Everything's looking very good. So signals on the long term look great. It's just the short term timeframes that make me a little hesitant. And again, I'm not much of a margin trader. I don't really see the need for it when you have, things like, just even some of these stuff that we've been trading on Kucoin, like Uno. That was short of 100% pump yesterday. AI obviously coming back down from where we expected. Again, that did a pretty good. You don't need leverage, when you have altcoins like this. But there is a time and a place for futures, and it's usually bear market, really, or very high degree of certainty that you're going to get a good run for your money. But anyway, I'm looking for this to either get rejected from where we are already, which is just shy of 60,000, psychological number. But to be honest, I think it'll have the power to push up to around 62 and a half. Again, just short of the previous all-time high, and that's where we'll have our pullback from. So that's Bitcoin for you. That's my expectations based on overheated and very high money flow index. If we have a look over here, Bitcoin dominance caught a nice bid on the 10 exponential. So again, there's a bullish position to be caught on. So big move up, consolidation, big move up, consolidation. Now I think the inevitable push to 47.14 or thereabouts. It's the 10x, the 200 exponential on the daily chart here would likely be the next area for a pullback. And on the live stream, you know, I was talking about how I like to do the big swing trades. So for me, the Bitcoin dominance chart offers amazing opportunity to go from Bitcoin to altcoins and altcoins to Bitcoin all at the right time. And if you want to play these micro rotations like we've just seen there on the daily, you can do that. But it reminds me, the analogy I used on the live stream was it's like standing on a train track trying to play dodge with a train. So, you know, essentially Bitcoin is the train, and, you know, the longer you stay there, the bigger your altcoin gains. But you do have to get off the track at some point. You do have to pull out at some point. Now, the best thing to do is wait for that train to pass and get the best position at the highest level. That way, you can stay on that track for a longer period of time and let those altcoins basically amplify whatever Bitcoin that you put into it. And I would expect that sort of signal to be played on a weekly. So the first opportunity would be 48 to 49. Maybe 50 to 52. Now, if these areas break, and we do have a breakout of the Bitcoin dominance all the way up, it would be 57 to 58, which is, again, a very significant area of support resistance dating back years. And that would be an excellent place if we were to get there. I can't say it feels very likely at the moment, but, you know, things can change quite dramatically in the market. When Bitcoin decides it wants to break out and go crazy, people don't want to miss it. You'll see that all these altcoin gains, like I say, because they are amazing. There's some even just recently there's been some amazing gains that we've all been feeling. You know, they're only gains until they're realised, whether you realise it into Tether, Fiat, or Bitcoin. They're only realised until you take it. So, I mean, like I say, we watched Uno pump yesterday. It did, 80%? It's down. It's down. It's a low-cap coin. This is what happens. It goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. So, like I say, you know, to make the most of these, if you see your altcoin go all the way up, actually, that's not too bad, to be honest with you. It's really not too bad. But if you see your altcoin go all the way up, and then start to go all the way back down, and as Bitcoin starts to break out, you know, people will jump ship. That's what they did last time, you know, September to December. That's what happened last time. It could happen again. So this is why we look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. And again, it's not to be all out or all in of anything. It's just to balance your portfolio. This is the only reason I reference this. I'm not all in Bitcoin. I've got a larger Bitcoin position now as of about 3 weeks ago. A larger Bitcoin position than I had prior to this, but it's still not. I'm not all in Bitcoin. You know, my altcoin positions, I've still taken on some new ones. I've been trading some of these micro cap, these small cap things on Kucoin quite successfully recently. So I'm still buying things, you know, doing trades for altcoins. So don't get me wrong, I'm not all in or all out. It's always been my motto: never be all in, never be all out of the market in general. It's just a rebalancing, a reshuffling of the portfolio to benefit you in what would appear to be a stronger move on the cards from Bitcoin. Whether that's stronger on the move up or weaker on the move down, the idea is that you're protected against significant losses, even though you might sustain losses for a Bitcoin pullback. We all see how when Bitcoin pulls back, altcoins pull back more, they amplify the downtrend. So it is a protective stance as much as a what could be hopefully a lucrative one as well. And the final thing we'll just look at just very briefly is the Dixie. So we've been watching the Dixie uptrend, and, you know, I've been relatively bullish on the Dixie, and the Dixie's, you know, it's still bullish. Let's face it, it's still a bullish looking chart, higher highs, higher lows, respecting the center of this Bollinger Band here, the 20 daily. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, this is a pullback that could easily bounce from this level. Now, if we break down, that's fine. The next level would be down here to 93,444. But if we start to closing candles below there, then this uptrend I think is likely to be over. And then we have to entertain the idea of this actually coming down again, which would be great. It would be great for Bitcoin. It would be great for all the stocks and commodities that we trade. But there is a very realistic chance that we do bounce from here. It's the obvious place for it to bounce, and we could bounce from here. So I am still in favour of the uptrend until proven otherwise. The uptrend is cancelled below this level and definitely into this level. But yeah, the Dixie looks well. I mean, it's been a fair old pullback, which you could argue, which is why we've had such a good few days. You know, these things, they do correspond. It's not It's not the secret sauce that everybody thinks, but it's definitely worth reflecting on. Where is the dollar? What are we looking for? And for me, what I've been saying, for it feels like a while now since this appeared to be in a stronger uptrend since back in August, I suppose, is that what we are hoping for is a stronger dollar in the short term, so we can get a decent rejection from a higher level, which should correspond to especially for crypto, but stocks as well, because I'm buying into stocks as well, especially as we get closer and closer to what I would entertain the significant area of rejection for the Dixie, and some stocks are looking good. Again, anything valued or pegged against the dollar will likely feel some upside, from a decent rejection. And I think the rejection will be, potentially 95. We could even overreach a little more than that, but about 95 to maybe 95.5. Anyway, if this breaks down now, excellent, no big deal. Because, like I say, my positions are already in. I would like to hopefully get some more stock positions, because I've got quite a few in my crosshairs. I've not yet pulled the trigger, but as far as crypto, I'm allocated and I am waiting, and I will be waiting for all of this to play out. So really, it's just to observe the strategy that's been basically adopted for, I would say, the best part of 3 years, but we adjust our strategy recently as the dominance chart appeared to be curling up, which it certainly is at the moment. It's definitely changing its structure. So I suppose the reshuffling of the portfolio and the adjustment of the strategy did change about 3 weeks ago for me, but only a little tweak, and so it's just a matter of letting it all play out. Anyway, that's enough. Don't want to bore you to death, but I hope you have a nice day today. And join the Telegram and the Patreon as well if you want to take it one step further for the live streams. And I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.